vítězný rozhovor je před námi a tentokrát tady máme trenéra týmu Entropic, Nalu. Tim, welcome to the interview and thanks for your time. How are you satisfied with your game? Because DNE, they are a pretty tough opponent and the early game was kind of difficult, but in the end you managed to pull through.
I think overall how we played mid and late game was pretty fine. I think we struggled a little bit to engage properly, and in terms of the early game, we could have played many times better. So there's still a lot of rooms for improvement, but I was happy with the win.
And you also managed to show us in the draft another champion that can abuse static shift pretty well, Zeri. So maybe some words on that, and also maybe how happy are you about that static shift game into the meta, and it's kind of shifting a lot of picks around mid lane and maybe even bot lane?
I think, first of all, the Zeri pick, like when we make picks like this, it's a lot on the players. Like it's not the coaches that actually figure something out. So I want to give a lot of credit to the players themselves to figure it out, right? So good job to Jackie. When it comes to the static shift, at one, I'm really happy it came because honestly, everybody was completely bored that, you know, MSI is over, they introduced the big patch, and then we have again Zeri, Lucian, Aphelios, you know, Jinx. Like it's the same thing, you know. But now with the static shift, at least like, you know, when you change the mid lane dynamic, how it's picked, right? Then maybe you pick top later, and then maybe you pick jungle later, so there's more jungle picks, more top lane picks. It's like it makes it a lot more interesting, but it is very unhealthy for the game. Like it is really bad that you're able to just do one auto attack and the wave is gone, and it can really change the dynamic of how League of Legends is being played. And I think Riot already sent out a message that they're going to address it, and I hope they do it as soon as possible. But I want static shift to stay, but just in a form that is not like one auto attack kill the wave kind of thing.
Yeah, now it's a bit too overloaded. Not really too interactive, but here you managed to use it pretty well. And I think Jackie's performed very nicely on the Zeri pick. And now back from the game and to your whole season, how would you maybe rate your team so far? Because Entropic look very dominating in Hitpoint Masters. And also how difficult or how is it to manage or juggle EPL in the mornings and then the official matches for Hitpoint? Is it a new challenge maybe for you?
First of all, I'm really happy that EPL happened. I think it helps the players be motivated a lot more through the practice. Even though we have less overall practice, like overall scrims, it helps players like look forward to something week to week, and we have more official games to practice because in the last year Masters, one of the main things was just nerfs, you know, that really put us on the ground. When it comes to just the performance of the team, I think we are still far away from the form we were at the end of last split. Just pure when I said it, I mean like scrim performance, you know, like I think on official games we're doing pretty okay, but I think when it comes to scrim performance, we still have a lot to improve, you know, when it comes to trying to actually make an achievement in EO Masters, you know, because so far we have not proven it.
Yeah, I see, and that's another question or another topic that I wanted to lead to. What are your main takeaways from the spring split? Because we also had Danik on the interview, and he was also saying that during the split you changed or you were working a lot on your approach to scrims. So maybe some awards on that. So what are you doing differently as a coach and as a team this summer split?
When it comes to scrims, we're not really changing any approach because we all agreed that most of the scrims from spring, like most of the things were really well. Like the players were really happy with the schedules, the practice times. I would say there were some internal things the players pointed out that I agreed with them that we changed or we are changing. But I would say the main thing that we're trying to address is just how we take official games, like that we are more relaxed, more playing our game, more, you know, having more and more official games so that we are, you know, not so under pressure when it comes to officials. But when it comes to the game itself, I think that something happened at the end of spring split, and you know, teams that watched MSI maybe didn't notice, but if they noticed and with the meta shifted, they would be able to see that the game changed a lot. and JDG proved that. And I think a lot of teams didn't catch up to that, and we're gonna probably ride the whole summer on that thing. And you know, I don't think people can take games away from us if they don't understand the changes that happen to the game.
Yeah, and I think so far it's showing because your performances in Hitpoint Masters are predominating. And also, I would like to ask as maybe final question, how you as a coach are maybe, how is the full-time program for you? Because I suppose it poses many new challenges when you entered Entropic and suddenly all the players are in Prague and you are the same place. So how did you go through this? And maybe, again, what challenges are you working through with your team regarding the full-time program? Because we are the only team in our league that has such good conditions and environment.
I think we all got used to the full-time program, like all of us. I think we have a structured, you know, set up training plan. The one challenge I would say we're starting to face, because we kind of became really close to each other, is that the more you get to know someone, the more you know about someone, what happens is that your buttons are getting pushed faster, which means that, you know, like something's been happening, I don't know, over like months, and then it's like at the beginning you're kind of putting an eye on it, but later on you kind of maybe you know, go out, like you show emotions and stuff much faster, because it's like, oh, this has been happening for like 7, 8 months, 9 months, right? So I think that's the biggest challenge we've been facing, where there are certain things that each player does, including myself, including the coaching staff, including the organization, that we're kind of like, you know, they stack up, and there are things that are part of us. So it's like that's kind of like a challenge where we're trying to just balance everyone so everybody is as happy as possible, and you know, to produce basically the best result for this year.
Okay, yeah, I see. I think that's some great insight. And for the ending, now just anything you would like to add or any message for the fans, now's your time.
This message is a little bit different than normal. Like I would say, I think Entropic maybe doesn't have the best voice with the fans so far. Maybe we have shown that we go on stage, that we don't care that much about the Czech scene, about the Czech fans, about, you know, we mention a lot the Masters, but like at least at the beginning of this year, we changed this approach a lot. And we want to basically show to all the fans in Czech Republic that when we went to the Greece, to the Athens, we really did our best to represent Czech Republic and did our best to make the fans proud to be a Czech fan, to be a Czech player. And even now that we're going to EPL, we're going with the mindset of we are representing Czech, you know, and we want to, you know, raise the flag at the end to win. And of course, you want to do the same thing at the Masters. I think Esuba represented Czech Republic pretty well in Spring Split. Like they got to groups, which was a great achievement, and we are all proud of them for that. But I think it's time that Entropic shows even more this summer and really puts Czech on Europe's landscape.
Okay. Yeah, with that, thank you, Tim, for the great interview, and I also hope you. I wish you good luck, and I hope you do well in your future matches, and that you can represent us well in Europe. So good luck. A teďka už se můžeme mrknout na Mastercard akci zápasu a analýzu této hry.